anything else special.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our Mage the Ascension campaign. Hold on. Hold on. What is going on? Alright, there we go, we're fixed now. Welcome everyone back to our Mage the Ascension campaign. I am your storyteller, and it is my job to bring the wrath of darkness and light upon these wonderful people here. Thankfully, I have no idea. Thankfully, there aren't any major announcements coming from the channel right now. I think there should be one coming soon-ish, maybe in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So keep an eye out for that. So with that said, we'll go ahead and introduce you to these wonderful people, and we'll get to terrorizing them shortly. And this time, we'll start with Chaharu.
Hi, I'm Kara858. As normal, I like to save my announcements to the end of the stream, but I'm playing Chiharu, who is traveling to Los Angeles for the first time, and probably is not going to like the concrete. No, this is not really the concrete jungle. This is more New York, but it's still pretty hectic. So we shall see.
All right, next up, Elias.
Hi, I am Ari. I am here to make Ree's life difficult in yet another game, but I'm playing Elias, who ironically is also in Los Angeles for the very first time and is very much like trying not to be in tourist mode.
Okay, the next up, Eric.
Everybody, my name's Quinn. You can find me on Twitter at the QSellers, the Mercenary Storyteller, and tonight I'm playing Eric Tristan, mage looking for revenge.
Redemption. All right, last but certainly not least, Sir Monolith.
I am. Got a frog in my throat, so I got. Yeah, I'm at Sir Monolith on the Twitter. Not a whole lot else going on right now. Going back to Los Angeles, definitely been there a few times at least. Can't really remember all the details since we didn't do that much backstory, but probably won't be too terrible if we don't get eaten or some other terrible fate awaits us.
All right.
Being eaten was on the table?
I mean, only if you're lucky.
It's always on the table.
Right.
It's what's
with
for dinner.
With all that said, it is my duty to remind everyone that the world of darkness can be a dark and unpleasant place from time to time. I've spoken with these wonderful people about all their limits and things that they need to make this game as comfortable and as enjoyable for them, which means I encourage you to do the same. If something occurs that makes you uncomfortable, please feel free to stop, skip ahead, or mute, whatever you need to do, get a sandwich, anything like that, because first and foremost, you should be enjoying the opportunity. But now that is said, our cabal is in the middle of making their preparations for what could be a night with a unfamiliar enemy. As a part of these preparations, our young Akashic Brotherhood member, the Akashayana, Chaharu, has gone in search of one of their elders in their chantry. Chaharu, as you make your way, you enter a section of the chantry that is beautiful in its natural environment. You find yourself stepping onto a mountaintop. You can see the mountains seem to be somewhere in the high clouds. As you look around, you find yourself staring into a clear sky with fog and clouds around you. Can I have you roll me your stamina at difficulty 7, please?
Just stamina by itself?
Just stamina by itself.
Okay. 2 successes.
As soon as you settle into the mountain, you begin to feel a pressure descend upon you. It is almost as if there is a person pressing down against your body. And as you begin to search around for the person you've come from, the weight seems to grow. And you can feel, although you yourself are pretty strong, the longer you stay here, the more the weight seems to increase.
Ooh. Well, this is clearly in the chantry. So in a area that they are a bit more comfortable with. So Jiharu, to counterbalance this aspect, is going to manipulate their ki, have it surround them, and utilize that ki to boost their stamina and durability to address this increase in G-force in this location.
Okay, make me an R2 roll.
Right.
I will say this is going to be a Forces 3 effect because the effect is getting more and more powerful. However, you find the key almost swims around you. It's almost effortless to bring it in under your control. And the difficulty will be reduced by 1 on top of any other modifiers you may have.
Okay. So what's the difficulty right now?
It is 5.
5? I'll just use a quick test to make it 4. Oh, perfect. 3 successes. There's nothing you get for a rete if you roll a 0 on them, right?
Not at your level.
Okay.
Eventually. All right. It takes only a short moment of focus to command the key around you to obey you, and it almost feels as if you've come home. There is still the weight, and you can still feel it increasing, but for the time being, it is tolerable.
Okay. Chiharu's going to look around. Is he able to see clear mind by chance in this location?
So you look for her. You don't so much as find her as you feel the wind guiding you further up the mountain.
Okay. In that case, Chiharu's going to follow the trail. Follow the wind path and see if they could be able to locate clear mind.
You begin to make your way up what looks to be 100 stone stairs. And as you make each step, you begin to hear the sound of creatures roaring from somewhere. You aren't sure if it's in front of you or below you. Can I have a willpower roll, please?
Oh, okay.
The difficulty 6.
6? Okay. Oh, nice. 4 successes.
All right. You're able to control your heart. You can feel something beginning to influence you, a shadow of a feeling, but you are able to push it down and make your way further and further up the stairs. You push to about halfway, and then you begin to hear whispers, voices. They seem to be calling you, screaming your name in fear and anger. You recognize some of them. Sister, werewolves, you think. You recognize that bestial language of the Krynos form, Garu. And you can feel their anger, and it is all directed at you. Can now you make me a willpower roll at difficulty 7?
Yep. Oh, just 2.
You can push forward. You can feel that anger, that fear stabbing at you almost like needles. Does your Haru keep going?
Yes. Finds it odd. Has he experienced something like this before in the Chantry?
Not to this level before. You are aware there are areas where young mages like yourself could go to temper themselves to resist corruption, but this feeling is completely different than what you've experienced.
I see. So in that case, if they're aware that this could be some sort of test, they're definitely going to attempt to push forward.
You get about 75% of the way up the stairs, and you begin to smell something. It smells wonderful. It smells like the breakfast you had as a teenager, the greatest foods you've ever tasted. It even begins to smell like memories almost. The happiness. And as your mind begins to wander, you pull up visions from your past, moments where you were excited or happy. And you find yourself wishing for those moments again. And you know that if you just turn back now, you would have them. You'd be happy. The stress of whatever you came here for would simply melt away. Does Chiharu keep walking?
They do. They understand that the happiness that this brings is false. It's not true enlightenment. It's an aspect to provide complacency. But enlightenment doesn't interact with complacency. They're opposite ends of the spectrum. And so when they realize that, they take a deep breath, and yeah, just take one step forward after another.
And as you reach the top of the stairs, a new feeling comes over you. Anger, fury, rage, power. You get to the top and you see a mirror waiting for you. Only the reflection is different. You see your bones begin to break and reform. Hair, fur begins to grow across your body. And you watch as the image in the mirror changes into a 14-foot werewolf. You can feel the power. You can see yourself being accepted amongst your family in a way that was never quite there before. You see the shadows of doubt, of hesitation, simply leave. And you know if you reach for it, if you wish for it, that could be yours. What does Chiharu do?
This is the first time Chiharu pauses because this speaks exactly to what he wishes would take place. As much as he's aware of their love and care for who he is, he understands that he has been the black sheep and has been constantly trying to find a way in his mage studies to replicate what the guru is as best as possible. And so to see this before him, to see him what he could be, it's difficult, it's painful. But I think he also realizes this is the easy way out. If he was to reach for it and become this way, who knows what will truly happen. It'd probably be best if he could be able to replicate it as best as he can his own way. And as painful as it is, not fully be what his family members is. That's not truly who he is, at least right now. So I mean, it's difficult, but he's going to step away from the mirror.
As you step away, you find the mountain around you disappears. And you are standing right back in front of the entrance you stepped through. Only this time, there is a woman. Her hair is almost ashen white. But as you look at her, you find a sense of vitality to her that is unrivaled by anything else you've ever seen. You felt the key around you almost beckon to your call. But for her, it's almost as if she and the key are one and the same. And she looks at you and you can see she's wearing a very ornate kimono. And you recognize some of the symbols, but others seem to be foreign to you, almost as if the symbols themselves are changing as you attempt to focus on them. You have come in search of me.
Yes. Did you happen to see all of that?
I did not see what you saw, but I am aware of what you went through. It is a bit too early for you to visit these mountains, but it is good you can persevere.
Well, I was fortunate this time. I came here to ask for guidance. We, my cabal and I, are approaching a mission where we're dealing with creatures of the night, vampires, in Los Angeles, as out of all places. And this location, as you're aware, is not really too pleasant to individuals like us. The, sleepers roam the streets, and Paradox is just a step away if we make one small move. And so I know how to deal with vampires if we had the advantage, if we were located in an area where we could use our magic freely. But in the concrete jungle of Los Angeles, I'm confused on how to bridge the gap, how to bring what I know and manipulate it in a way to where reality doesn't constrict on me like it would my fellow kin. Do you have any advice on how to manipulate what we are in a way that's more convenient to those around us?
There are many ways to do what you want. I would say first, your best weapon will always be your mind. There are many solutions, many situations where you are unable to fight things. But I suppose that answer would not be sufficient for what you are looking for. Suppose from your level it should be possible. And you see her hold out her hand, and it is nothing special. You can see that ki is flowing through and around her. But as she balls her hand into a fist, she slams it into a tree next to her. And for a moment, nothing happens. And then you see the tree explodes from the inside out. I have found a lot of people forget that ki flows through all of us, living and the dead. You should focus your attentions on manipulating the ki inside of another person. I would recommend not relying on too much destruction, but it can be enough to help you if you need it.
So those of the undead possess key like everything else?
He is on all things, from the smallest rivers to the greatest of dragons. The undead are different, but they are still all a part of creation.
Chiharu's eyes widened in realization, didn't even come across that viewpoint, that mindset. He looks towards her and says, "Thank you. That was exactly what I needed to hear. I think I know how to handle it from here." And he
I wish
bows
you
really
luck.
low. He bows really low in respect. And yes, and makes his way out of the domain per se. To his group.
Okay. And you can add that to your character sheet. It is a rope that relies on Prime 2. It does require a quintessence to use for each attack, regardless of whether or not you miss. But it is coincidental as long as you do not attempt to completely destroy something from the inside out. Making things explode is not coincidental. But you can hurt things with it.
You actually, there's a name for this?
It could. I will let you determine what you want to call it. But yeah, it's a rope.
Okay, it's a rope.
But you can.
You said Prime 2.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise known as One Punch Man.
A punch. So it's a rope you like wrap around your fists. Is that what it is?
Yep.
A little rope a dope.
But yes,
suck on this, pow right in his face.
the effect will work on anything, as long as you hit it. But it will deal damage based on number of successes, and it is aggravated damage.
Aggravated damage. And you say how many quintessence did I need to use it?
1 per hit, regardless. 1 per attack, regardless if you hit or not.
So don't miss.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pricey miss.
All right. So now that Chiharu's conversation has reached its conclusion, are there anything else you all wish to do before you left?
Everyone else good?
All right.
Yep.
Snakes
In
and
that
vampires.
case-
I mean, not that.
All right. Then
Have you
in that
tried punching a
case-
vampire to explode it from the inside out? Because I'd like to try that now. Like that's something now I'm interested in.
What if you like did that while tying the stake to your fist, so you get like a double whammy?
Oh, we're going to attempt whatever you like. But with that, you all are going to meet up outside of one of what is called the Hall of Doors, which is a hallway filled with doors of various types that will take you to various locations in both the mundane world and the Umbra. And you all are able to find your way outside of the one leading to downtown Los Angeles. And I leave things from this point on to you all.
So we're actually in Los Angeles right now?
You are outside of the door that will take you to Los Angeles, so you need to step through.
Is everyone ready?
Yeah. Everybody remember their go juice.
Go juice.
Could you elaborate on what is this go juice?
Oh, I think I forgot to hand them out. Here, take these in case you get in trouble.
Oh, I totally thought you were talking about something else. I was like pulling out my black rose and like, this is my go juice, right? Like when shit gets bad, you take the go juice and get out of there, right?
That's another interpretation of it. Yes. No,
Did you have something else?
Yeah, basically healing potions.
Oh, perfect.
That's new.
Yeah, you still have to make a roll. I think don't you make the individual rolls? No, you have to use like you have to make the arete roll to like activate it.
Not for
Or
these
no?
kinds of rolls. They will
Oh, okay.
heal what you set up. Those are a different type of wonder that they would have to roll for.
Okay, cool. So
well,
this is
how does it work? Healing
so
potion.
yeah. So we had it set to I think we had set it so that it would last for the. They had like what was it 3 points or
3
something to go between like healing power and like duration from the number of 6. It was like 3 or 5 something. I can't remember the exact number. I thought I'd written it down, but I guess I did not. But I think I remember
believe
it's
it
supposed to
is
last for
3
like
points of healing for an entire scene.
Now, is that 3
3
points per
levels of healing.
round or just like spread across the entire scene?
It will occur throughout the scene, so it'll be over and over again
Okay.
until I determine that a scene is over, or at least until I let you tell you it's over.
So it's
It
kind of like a
will
regeneration
require
potion.
it will require expenditure of quintessence from the individual to heal an activated wound. Keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Ooh.
but I guess healing non-aggravated is just kind of baked in, or I guess is free, other than activating it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. That's pretty cool.
And
But
Chiharu
having the
about-
ability to heal the aggravated is a pretty big deal. So that's nice. Or I guess I should say having the ability a little easier, because now you don't have to activate your life magic necessarily if you're doing that already.
Chiharu will bow and thank you. I appreciate this.
Yes, hopefully it doesn't become necessary, but better to be safe than eaten.
Agreed. Elias, I don't recall too often fighting with you. How is your combat skills, by chance? Just so I can understand where your strengths lie.
Well, I'm slightly good with a firearm, not an expert. I'm mostly the guy that usually sits behind the desk.
So you're going to be working with Quinn then? Since Quinn, I think, also shoots Augustus?
Eric.
Eric, yes. I had the wrong side. I was looking at the wrong side. That's right. There you go. Eric, yes.
Well, if that is all right, I know him and Bonnie are very fond of their very unique child.
Augustus.
Augustus.
My boy Phineas, yes. But my greatest weapon is my mind. Think about it.
So, if I'm to understand correctly, everyone will be fighting mostly from a distance, and I will be the one that would be in close combat. Very well. I know my role in this endeavor.
Don't worry, buddy. We got your Overwatch. We can blow up a big werewolf. I'm sure we could blow up a few pesky vampires. No problem.
Hopefully so. I guess we make our way to Los Angeles.
All right. You step through the door, and you find, as you step through, you find yourself stepping out into an alleyway. It seems to be mostly clean, and you realize immediately it is nighttime here in Los Angeles, and you seem to be near downtown, though you don't know quite where you are.
Can I determine where we are since I lived here?
Sure. I would say it's not that hard. You have a cell phone. You are near the Hollywood and Highland.
Oh, yeah. I don't need to live here. I whip out my cell phone and go to
Yeah,
Google Maps.
Yeah. You are closer to downtown. You are near the Hollywood and Highland.
Got it. What time of day is it?
It is definitely night. When you check your phone, I will say it'll take a second for it to switch over, but it seems to be about 8:30 for it to switch over to the correct time.
No better time to go to a spooky graveyard. Am I right?
Well, on the plus side, with the way this city is, I'm presuming the gauntlet should be very thick. So perhaps we may not run into too much problems on our way there.
Well, whatever you all think is best, manipulating the gauntlet's a little bit outside my area of expertise.
I can assist with that when the time comes. The air here is not pleasant. There's like a cloud.
It's LA. It's normally like that. Yeah, you get used to it.
This do not damage your health while living here?
Oh no, it's terrible for you. Yeah, but you get used to it. You might lose a few years off your lifespan, but you know.
It's what
Hollywood.
I'm told. It's city living, right, Eric?
It is very city living. Yeah, I mean, if I could have redone a few things, I probably would have chose somewhere else to live. But
well, perhaps when our skills develop a bit, we could do something about this, because there are millions of people here, and to have them all absorb and breathe in by far one of the most toxic clouds I have ever seen normally. That doesn't sound too pleasant.
And my shitty apartment's rent was 3 times as much as my new mortgage in Cleveland. So, or where were we? Yeah, Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm. That makes no sense at all. You paid 3 times as much to breathe in horrible air?
Yes, in a very tiny, shitty apartment without air conditioning. Times were tough, man. I was paving my way through med school. You know, sacrifices had to be made.
I hear there's a lot of good med schools in LA.
You know, I bet there are. Yeah.
This is definitely a strange place. Very well. I will keep this in mind.
So I do have a question, I guess is really for Charu and Elias. As far as when it comes to the gauntlet and extending yourself to the other side to call out, is there a good time to do that? If we're going to the graveyard where there's potentially kindred, hey, I don't know much about these guys, but I've seen a lot of movies, and going when in the daytime is probably the safer bet. But I don't know if it's better to do what we need to do at night or during the day.
I think some of your general stuff from, that you've seen from the movies, a lot of those general based assumptions will probably do you pretty well safety wise.
I would prefer the daylight simply because the sun helps. It would give us
Well,
the
there's
advantage.
this vampire, but then there's also Jessica's essence there.
Well, the gauntlet is not managed by the time of day. It's more about the location itself. When the gauntlet is placed in an area surrounded by a city, such as this, the wall remains very thick. Because, as you could imagine, the city...
A lot of noise.
Mm-hmm. The city is not really too pleasant to the spirit world. So,
okay.
Yeah, the day would be safer, and we could still be able to get the job done.
As long as that doesn't weaken our chances for us to reach out, I'm okay finding a place to rest for the evening, and we can do this tomorrow.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're in no rush.
Now, I understand you used to have a a studio apartment. I do not believe that would house all 4 of us. Do we have
I don't have it anymore anyways. It wouldn't do us any good.
Elias is already looking at hotels.
It's Airbnb and that, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
what about motels? You know, like the Holiday Inn.
No, no. We
You
don't do
can-
that here.
We don't talk about.
You have you have a plethora of options. Between 1 and we'll say 3 temporary resource dots, so you will get them back after a few games. Depending on what the quality of the place you'd like to be staying at. We'll say between 1 and 3 stars.
Oh, is that our options? I have resources 4 now, so I can.
Sure,
get
you
that.
can splurge for a really expensive place.
Well, we're really only
Fine.
staying the night, so maybe not something super expensive because there tends to be a lot of security, and I don't know how they're going to react. And he just points at Augustus.
Yes, by chance, this is, if I recall correctly, this is not a open carry state, and do you have a license for a sniper rifle with a flamethrower attached to it?
You know, that's. Let's just move on. I don't think that's really important right now.
Can you hide it by chance, so therefore the police does not see us and pull us over?
Did you bring your concealed carry sniper rifle holster?
That is a great question. I have no.
I'm afraid if we were to enter Uber with this massive device, the Uber driver may feel a bit concerned of what you're planning to do with such a device.
These are all fair points that I did not think of beforehand. And I do not have anything magically that'll
Just
help
give,
with this.
give the Uber driver a good tip. They'll be fine.
What
I have money.
would
That
you
does a lot.
would you say that Elias would maybe have some electrical tape in his bag to make what appears to be the orange tip that goes on those fake guns to kind of adhere it to
I'm
the
just
end?
cosplaying. Yeah.
With flame coming out the side, you got a
Y-
red tip.
Make
movies
it look like a
happen
Nerf
here
gun.
all the time. We could be going to a small indie movie set.
There was a story about somebody doing that with a real gun in New York at one point. They put literal Nerf parts over it and disguised it.
Okay. So you are well beyond just using a Nerf gun to disguise. The extensive modifications have made that a non-issue, a non-possibility. However, you do have magic, so what you can attempt to do. Well, you have 2 options. As I will give you both of your choices. You can attempt to reach through space to send the gun to another location. You can also attempt to use a mind and entropy effect to make people not notice the gun and to decrease the chances that a person will do something or interact with the gun accidentally. Both of these effects will be vulgar, and they will be without witnesses because you are doing them in the privacy of this alley that no one has decided to look down and probably won't for a while. So it is up to you what you like to do.
Is it?
Can I just do it with entropy? Do I have to have mind?
If you
What?
only have entropy, you can manipulate the chances that someone will notice the gun or like bump into it, but it will not be as effective without the mind added.
Well,
to it.
I have what level of mind? Because I have mind 2.
It would work.
I have mine 3.
Okay.
Elias, by chance, could you create a record in the database to indicate that Eric legally owns this item?
Chiharu, are you asking me to falsify some records?
No.
I am. That'd be great. Can you do that? That'd be great.
Oh yes, yes. I believe that should be the more plausible way to do this. If not, I can completely make people not see it. It's going to be very painful, but we'll try this option first. So yes, I would like to falsify some records.
I know it's big, Ree, but like how long is it really?
I'm not a gun person. It's just the length of a standard sniper rifle. I don't know. I'm both bad at math and I don't know guns, so I am not qualified.
I am calling it like a big 50 cal, so it's probably like at least 4 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
So if I break it down, if I remove the barrel,
does it have a folding
it'd be
stock?
2 pieces of 2 feet.
See, the issue though is that your modifications of adding a flamethrower to it makes it very difficult to break down because gasoline and flamethrower.
Hey, just work with me, storyteller.
Listen, I have given you the rope to hang yourself on this. There is very little.
I'm gonna try. Hey, I'm gonna look for practical means to hide or conceal this weapon. No, you have to.
It'd be a suitcase.
Magical.
You've connected a flamethrower to a gun in a way that borderline doesn't make a lot of sense. It is also very illegal. So, Elias, if you wish to try to create documentation that allows you, I will allow you to do this. I'm not sure what documentation would even qualify for such a weapon.
The gun license, the fake gun license.
I admit I don't know much about gun licenses. I don't think there's a gun license for sniper flamethrowers, but there could be. It is America after all.
Well, if we can have an assault rifle, I think we can have a 50 cal.
So I will let you do this. However,
it depends. Is it an NFA item?
I will warn you. If you were to botch this roll, there will be potentially negative consequences.
Fine.
So every other roll too, then. Okay.
For this, you are trying to hack into government servers. Mm-hmm. Are you using magic to assist you with this?
It's not worth it.
Yes, if I can route myself to make my location a bit more hard to determine.
Okay. So you could use a correspondence effect for that, or you could use a correspondence and entropy effect, kind of decrease the probability of someone being able to locate you.
I have 3 in both, so yes.
All right. You're doing this on a computer, so I would say it would be coincidental still. So make me a roll at difficulty 6 to hide yourself. And those will add as an increase and modifier for anyone who wishes to find you. 2 successes. Okay. Make me an intelligence and technology roll to hack.
What's the difficulty?
7.
Three
successes. Wonderful. Well, I must make a roll. Interesting. You said 3, correct?
3. Cool. On 8 dice, just saying. I may need to get out the dice jail to remind them of where they can go.
Give that probation threaten.
So you begin to hack into the governmental servers, and you manage to begin creating this falsified information. It is taking you a bit more time, and you realize someone has noticed what you are doing and is attempting to search for you. Now, you can choose to continue completing this hack, or you can give up. If you continue, it will increase the chances that a person will notice you and attempt to locate you. But you will complete the task. If you give up now, you won't be noticed, but you won't complete your task.
Dun, 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 dun.
Continue.
Okay, make me one more roll.
I too like to live dangerously.
Just on occasion. What's the difficulty for this one?
That's same as before.
4.
Okay. You are able to create this information, but just as you finish, you catch a second ping. A second group has taken notice of you. You aren't sure if they found you yet, but you are sure that there were 2 separate groups of people searching for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you have completed your task. You do have this. This will work as well as a superficial police stop, but it will not work on higher level members of government.
That's fine.
But it will work.
He's shutting the computer down, so the internet will stop transmitting anywhere.
Okay.
Well, that should work, at least for the police. Homeland Security picks us up. Well, you're on your own on that one.
That's fair.
Well, I guess that's one issue down. Eric, you mentioned you had a place for us to stay. Was that correct?
No. I said we should find a hotel.
Oh, right. I was looking at hotels.
Yes.
he'll just hand his phone over with like the options on it to Eric.
And I'll be conservative and pick a hotel. If we're doing a 1 to 3 star, I'll do 2 star, somewhere in the middle, and somewhere in walking distance of Hollywood Forever.
Okay.
Oh man,
It is
2
not-
star. That's gonna be nice.
It is not difficult. You are able to book. Are you trying to book 2 rooms or 1? Or 4,
I mean,
I guess you could do 4
probably
separate
4.
ones if you look. Sure. I will say they are able to find 4 rooms. Actually, roll me a D100. Just it's mostly for my own entertainment.
That would be a 51.
All right. You are able to get 4 rooms. They are they are above and below each other in floor. So we'll say 2 of you have a room on the 4th floor and 2 of you have a room on the 5th floor. It's up to you to decide how you split that up or how you deal with it, but that is what you're able to get.
Gotcha. I'll take top bunk.
I am perfectly fine either or. Thank you for gathering this.
But of course, anything from my friends
Oh,
who are helping me, kill a vampire and free my dead girl, wife, fiance.
well, what are friends for?
Exactly.
All right. So Eric is on the top floor, the 5th floor. Who else is joining him?
Sounds
Elias
good to me.
doesn't mind heights. So
Yeah,
All right. All right.
in California, might as well get high.
You all are turning in for the evening. Is that correct? Okay. All right. You all are able to settle in. You are able to find a peaceful sleep. If you are able to gain a point of willpower back.
Oh,
Elias, can I have you roll me a D100, please?
oh, the one dice that I did not get out. There right there. 100 right there. 35.
All right. You awaken the next day, bright and early. The heat is difficult to deal with for those of you who've never been. But the air quality seems a bit better. Traffic is busy.
Oh yeah. So I presuming we looked on Uber, it's probably only like 4 miles away, but it's like an hour and a half to get there.
Absolutely. It's going to take you a while
that's
to
why
get
I said
there.
walking distance. That's why I said walking distance.
It would be pretty much everywhere is walking distance, but you picked wisely.
Are we in a time period? Are we in like the modern time period where they have little scooters all over the place?
Yeah, I would say you could find that. You'll find a scooter.
We're gonna take a bird scooter.
I mean, I might have to reach up to get the handles, but
Oh yeah.
I think it would be about at eye level.
Everyone watching the Monopoly Man scooter down
Yeah.
Main Streets, the most LA thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
All right. You all are able to find 4 of these ride-sharing scooters. Are you setting off to the cemetery?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to leave Augustus Phineas in the room. I would prefer not in the daylight be walking around with a giant rifle, permit or not.
Might draw a little attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have my handgun on me though, tucked away. That's a lot easier to conceal.
All right, handgun. Any other preparations? Jaharu, have you brought your familiar with you?
Oh yes. I'm presuming Hoshi would be fast enough to go along with the scooter, because dogs are pretty fast, right?
Yes, you are aware that Hoshi can keep up no problem. You are also aware that Hoshi can take a form that is more reliable in this kind of environment, but it being here for prolonged periods of time will increase the amount of quintessence they need. Which isn't an issue yet, but it is something. Should you find yourself needing to stay in Los Angeles for extended periods?
Okay. I can.
didn't know Hoshi could change their form. I thought it was just a big ass wolf. I'm like, I don't know if you want to walking around to that.
From my understanding,
Hoshi's
when he's
main
around
abilities.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, when he's around sleepers, he just looks like a large husky or something like that. I think it was like either a husky or a Saint Bernard, just pretty much like a large dog. But they look different due to what they look like to us.
They have a few tricks for this situation.
Yes.
All right, so you all are making your way in to the cemetery. It doesn't take a lot of effort to get inside at the moment, but once you've entered, what would you like to do?
At the cemetery, right?
At the cemetery.
I would like to recall we kind of saw a vision as Elias was doing his thing with on the laptop. We could kind of see what he was seeing, right?
Yep.
Would I have noticed anything landmark wise of where the vision was?
I would say, based on what you've seen since you've been here and what you saw in the vision, you think the older gravestones are where you're going to want to go. Where you saw this person, you couldn't pick out any of the names, but you could tell the tombstones had more like wear and tear on them. They also had a bit fancier shapes and designs to them, so you think it is probably somewhere a bit more wealthy, and it's been here for a decent amount of time.
So nothing super specific then that we could need to investigate for.
No, you would need to do some looking around. It was, since the focus of Elias's ability was on the individual, it is harder to get background knowledge, background information.
That's okay.
I can help investigate the graveyard for Elias, or I'm sorry, Eric. And we can try to narrow down what areas look like they fit that description.
I was going to make it easier, but
Or
go ahead.
Well, go ahead. If you would like to do something, then go for it. You all can work together.
Well, Hollywood Undead Forever has it's kind of Hollywood Forever has a God, it's like a funeral home, right? Like someone you can go talk to, right? So can we just
Mhm.
go to the front office of the
I mean, that would be
cemetery
the simpler way to do it. If you want to let
and just
people
ask
know
where all
you're
rich
here.
people are at? Yeah, like a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You all could make your way inside, and it is a very nice looking. I guess funeral home is the correct answer. The inside has that funeral home music that to me has always been creepy, but I guess it's supposed to be like calming.
A lot of organs.
Yeah. You do find it is mostly empty at this moment, though there is a man. They seem to be, you think maybe of Italian descent. They're wearing a very nice black suit, gray tie, shaved head. As you enter, good afternoon. Is there anything I can help
Hi.
you?
Yes, we're looking for an older part of the cemetery. Do you happen to know anything of the history of Hollywood Forever?
I know a bit, though I'm somewhat new to the region. When you say older, are you looking for something within the last decade or several decades ago? Is there a particular actor or something like that you'd like?
Several decades, yes, I think. I think it's maybe the 40s, 50s, perhaps.
Then you would be looking for the northwestern section. I can escort you
Perfect.
over if you'd like.
Oh, that's. I hate to be a bother. We have legs. We're just out for a stroll. You happen to have a map of Hollywood Forever? Is there a pamphlet or something?
And he reaches down below the desk and he does pull out a pamphlet that gives you a brief overview of all the touristy information. And when you kind of unfold it a bit, there is an actual formal map. Do they even
Sure.
have
And it's
pamphlets
like,
that?
for Hollywood Forever, I would. I'm actually looking at it on Google Maps right now, and it's like grave of this famous person, grave of this famous person. I'm assuming they would have it a pamphlet, so you could take a walk around Hollywood Forever.
Also, just to clarify, Chiharu's just going to take a secondary glance at this individual and just look at his aura, just to make sure he is coming across okay. We know this is daytime, so he could be kindred, but just making sure that he's nothing too special or anything.
Okay, let me double check something. All right. As you look at, first off, roll me it'll be a, what is it, prime effect? Yeah, it'll be coincidental. It'll be a prime effect as you will the key around your eyes. So it'll be a grand total of difficulty 4.
All right. Oh, perfect. 3 successes.
This is cool. His aura is overwhelmingly light blue and lavender. You would know those to be calm and kind of a conservative kind of personality. You do catch pale blotches that you haven't seen before. They're kind of spread throughout the aura, but you haven't seen it before.
Pale blotches?
Mm-hmm.
Chiharu takes notes of that. And I'm aware that Elias and Oliver has mind capabilities, right? I mean, Oliver,
Unless they would have
hidden
hidden it from you.
Yeah, well, Elias has keep his mind capabilities a secret, or would he?
No, he's fairly okay with admitting that.
Okay. He's going to kind of like point to his noggin, like kind of like scratch his head a little bit. So you all kind of give an impression like, hey, can you all like talk to his mind or something like that?
Elias looks at Oliver just to say, because he feels like maybe the Order of Hermes guy knows a little bit more than he does.
Right.
if if they just shrug their shoulders, then I guess that Chiharu will realize they don't have the ability to
Yeah.
speak.
Elias, if Oliver won't make a go at it, he'll
And-
he'll make a little bit of a
I mean, I
goat.
don't mind trying to read surface thoughts. Like we're
Yeah.
trying to dig around a little bit in this guy's noggin and see, coincidentally, what trying to think of how it even. You don't have to do anything. I'm trying to think of how that would even appear. Like you're not really doing anything special. You're just kind of like maybe be like.
Or you could
tell
look at
me-
Chiharu. Oh, sorry.
Tell me how you attempt this action, either communicating with Chiharu or trying to read this person's mind in your understanding of magic.
Okay, so I haven't thought about Oliver's shit in such a long time. Getting the dust off. It's been a while. What we have here, going back and okay. So Dominion actually is one of the ways that I practice magic. So it's the social manipulation thing, right? Was kind of the focus there. So like through like words and stuff, or I guess mass manipulation. That's why it had more of a focus on, at least originally, on manipulation than charisma.
Okay.
So maybe I guess try and utilize mine to help influence him to be more forthcoming.
What do you do?
I want to talk to him. Talk to him and try to, use the mind magic to, or leverage the mind magic to, make him much more friendly, even though, to us strangers, maybe feel like we're more very familiar, or people that he'd just be willing to tell anything.
Okay. Roll your arte. Difficulty. How many dots of mind do you have? 3?
3.
Difficulty 6. I'll say this is a mind through. Well, it's just reading surface thought. Well, no, you're trying to
Influence.
manipulate
I
them.
can't remember if influence is 2 or 3.
I believe it's 3. So we'll say it's difficulty 6.
That makes sense.
I believe that is 3. All right. Well, Oliver is attempting to do that. What about the other 2? Or other 3?
Well, Chiharu's not really sure what Oliver.
So that's a
or-
negatory.
Oh
Freaking
boy.
003.
That, my friend, is what we call in this business a botch.
Please tell me you have some willpower.
I do actually have some willpower.
Jesus Christ.
Can we use the willpower for our rolls? I can't remember.
Mhm.
You can. I will say you're supposed to use them before the roll, but I will allow it.
It's fair.
I will this time.
Everybody gets one. Spider-Man.
I guess one.
Okay, so I'll use willpower to. Is that guaranteed success or for a reroll here? I believe.
Just 1 success.
Okay, so
So
do I
your
need to
magic,
use 2 willpower then? Since it says negative
No.
1? No.
No,
Okay,
your magic will fail, but it will not be a botch.
gotcha. But if I wanted it to succeed,
You can only
just
spend 1
spend-
willpower on a roll.
oh, that's right. God damn, I keep forgetting that. I don't do it. I do it so infrequently that I forget the rules about it.
All right. So Oliver, you attempt, but this person seems to be oddly cold, calm, and collected. What about Elias, Chiharu, and Eric? What are you all doing?
I guess he'd then try and pick up some surface thoughts.
All right. I believe that is a mind 1 effect.
Yeah.
Or is that
Mhm.
mind 2?
Nope.
Are you guys doing this to
I don't
the
know.
guy we talked to with the pamphlets? Is that what-
That is what they are doing. They do not like this particular person.
I'm just gonna leave and follow the map to the northwest
Sure.
corner. I think it was northeast corner.
Sure.
Or the guy said it was. Yeah.
So Eric is leaving. Elias, tell me how you're doing what you're doing. Chiharu, are you staying for this, or are you leaving with Eric?
Oh, you say with Elias because he was the one that was recommending the idea in the first place. Oh, see, I
Okay.
know exactly what that aura spots means. I see
I
Chiharu is not aware of it, so I'm just like, okay, we gotta.
I will first off, if I make this roll, I will spend a point of willpower. But I feel like Elias kind of just like while him and Chiharu are like standing there, he's kind of just while Oliver's talking to him, kind of just like keeps glancing up at the guy and putting his hand like kind of just resting on his face, like he's just watching Oliver fail miserably. But he's putting it on his left hand side to just trying to kind of pressing a little bit underneath his eye.
Plan worked perfectly. It was just a distraction.
Okay, I allow it. Roll it at difficulty 4.
2.
2 successes.
Oh, plus the willpower 3.
Plus 1. You are able. The impressions you get are that you all are a bit strange. You see his thoughts are on different cemeteries, different places nearby. And as you attempt to peer further, you don't find anything. And it's almost as if, with 3 successes, you realize there's almost as if a portion of his thoughts aren't there for you to find.
He's kind of gonna make like a little mental note and like turn as if he's gonna say something to Eric and go, "Well, oh bollocks, he left us." Yeah, Chiharu, Oliver, I think we should catch up. He's off.
I thought I was the fast one. Okay. And yeah, I guess he'll follow Eric all the way out.
Well then, I guess we can't all. It can't always be a smashing success, I guess.
And when we
Okay.
get outside to try and find which way Eric went, because he's the only one with the map.
They have them free at the front desk, guys. I don't know why you're trying to read minds.
He'll just kind.
You're able to
No,
find Eric.
No, that's
without
that's
too much
enough out of
difficulty.
you, sir. You
Don't
got
worry.
some of us like creative problem solving.
You are able to find Eric without too much difficulty.
Is there anyone around, or we're by ourselves?
You see there are some other people in the cemetery, but it's pretty few of you. You're kind of sparse throughout. Some they seem to be looking at different headstones.
Was the owner or the assistant, the receptionist around, or is he back at the counter?
He has not left the room, the building.
In that case, he'll look towards the others and say, "By the way, the individual that greeted us is a bit different. I'm not sure why." That's all I will say.
Elias is just kind of like taking some eye drops out of his bag to put him in one of his eyes, and he's like, "Oh, that guy has patches missing out of his head."
There's patches missing outside of other areas as well. He knows something, or is aware of something, or is using by something. But yes, he's clearly a person of interest.
Who? That guy?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The guy at the front desk?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys should have read his mind or something. I mean, dug in there.
I'll have to try that next time. Yes.
It was an attempt, but it was like a page tore in half here and there. It was very, very weird.
You know, I believe I've seen that on the internet before. One time, there was a subforum somewhere titled "There Was an Attempt." They never go well.
Interesting.
I never would have took you for a person to be on Reddit.
Is that what it was? Somebody showed it to me in my study group in college. I didn't like it too much. It was a little funny though.
Right. So where are we going, Eric?
This way. How long would it take me to kind of walk to the general area of the older section of the?
Just a few minutes.
Right.
It's really not that far away. So
Okay,
once you
now that
arrive,
go ahead.
go ahead. Once you all arrive, is there anything specific that you all are doing?
Oh, this is the place.
I think this is the most logical place from what I remember from Elias's laptop. Yeah, I'll look for any landmarks, I guess, from see if it's anything better here.
Are you just looking around, or are you trying to use magic?
I don't think I have any magic to help me out here.
All right, make me we'll do wits and investigation.
Is Eric the only one able to investigate? Because Eric knows.
You all could do it if you like.
Okay, I just didn't know if we kind of like even knew what to look for, really, or if it was just kind of like clued into it by himself.
What's the difficulty?
7. You're trying to match an environment based on limited background.
One success.
Of the video. 1 success. Okay. And while this is happening, Elias, can I have you roll me a D100, please?
I got 2 successes.
2 successes.
Well,
Wonderful.
Technically 3, I guess. Does a 1 take away from it? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
And this addition -1 will reduce it to. Okay.
Straight 90.
Oh, okay. So it takes the combined efforts of both Oliver and Eric some time, we'll say 10 minutes, to kind of reposition yourselves from what that person would have been seeing if they were looking toward you. And you find that you are standing in front of a grave to a Mr. Gary Golden.
That name rings a bell. This is Quinn saying that, not Eric.
Is this the right place? I thought we were looking for your partner's grave. Is this the correct location?
I feel like it's where we saw the man in the vision, and ultimately where Jessica's essence was.
I see. Well, if this is the place, I guess we have no choice but to get started. But this might be an issue.
Because it's in the middle of the day. Well, I said that last night. All right.
Yes, but even at night, there would be people around.
Ah, that's a good point.
There were always, yes, I'm presuming a celebrity-based place like this would always find attraction unless they somehow had hours available where they were closed, which I would not see how that would be the case for a cemetery.
Well, I don't see what the problem is. It's not like you need to dig up some grave. Wait a second. Are we doing some grave digging?
No.
She's not buried here. I don't know why would we dig up a grave.
I figured you were looking for something and maybe you thought it was in a grave.
My understanding, this place would be the best place to attempt to reach her for where she is and pull her here. That was what you wish.
But why here?
Do you not want her?
Why this location? It's not about what I want. It's about why. It's just, I don't know. Cards are being laid on the table, and I'm clearly not sure how the game's played. It doesn't make any sense, the events that led us to this location. I'm starting to suspect that we were brought here more than we found this place, if that makes sense.
By who?
Now you're asking the right questions.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, if the goal is not to bring her to you, then this place itself isn't truly necessary unless our goal is to locate the individual that perhaps has her. If that is the goal,
It's not the goal. I suspect taking care of one objective would help me ultimately with mine. But we're looking for this fetter that is binding her to this individual. She may be able to help us with that if we can reach her. Or if we find this person. Granted, I don't know if, and I maybe forget what the vision showed us last time, but I don't know if this is the person that has that fetter or how he's involved. It could be the person we're looking for, or it could be coincidental, or he's involved some other way, which is probably more likely.
I would presume the person with the most clearest pieces of information would be your partner herself. She would most likely be able to tell us who has this and where this item is located at. So that was why I was considering or assuming we would perhaps bring her here, as it would be the easiest, I would assume, the easiest way to bring her would be this location, since I'm presuming this is her closest connection to the material plane.
Well, then let's do it.
Now, to clarify, is there still people around us?
There are no one immediately around you, but if your goal is to do any sort of summoning or any larger scale magic, it will be vulgar with witnesses, as you are in a very public place. And it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to do that without having anyone ever see you.
Charu, how much time do you need?
Not long. Oh, well, Bonnie would have.
Oh, she would definitely have like a portable
Yeah,
Ouija board. Yeah.
She has one. She mentioned having one in our earlier stages. So,
Oh.
Can we say that we have Bonnie's Ouija board?
Or I will say Bonnie would be present with you all. Sure.
Oh, Bonnie, there you are. Where have you?
Sure. She's been following.
Quiet as the death. Like this one.
All right.
Typical.
So in that case, yeah, she would attempt to try to communicate with her through the Ouija board, because the Ouija board is completely conventional, especially in the graveyard. They was like, oh, it's just a random kids just doing some stuff. And then at the same time,
Yeah, no, we'll get a lot of looks, but it's not. Yeah. We just look like a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
I will allow for a Chiharu. You couldn't make the roll for this,
Okay.
Because I do not want to roll for someone else's character.
Okay.
But what I will say is this is going to be vulgar without witnesses, but you are going to be doing something called pulling on a mythic thread. And what this is you are manipulating a rumor or a belief that people have, that they believe strongly enough that it has some kind of mythic or magical weight. People believe that Ouija boards are able to contact the dead, and that will reduce the difficulty by 3. Because you are also doing it inside of a cemetery.
Okay, perfect.
So the difficulty will be 4.
In a cemetery.
What makes something vulgar again?
Doing it in a way that is that a regular person wouldn't be able to kind of explain away easily. However, summoning magic is technically always vulgar because you're summoning something
I
that
was gonna
isn't
say
here.
4-letter words make it vulgar, but
No. Time manipulating time outwardly and summoning spirits are vulgar unless you do them in very specific places, and the cemetery is not one of them.
oh,
Yes. So as long as a human can be able to explain it in a way like, oh, okay, if someone like does a magic trick and puts like a cloak over themselves and just suddenly vanishes. Yeah, there's magic tricks. People assume it all the time, so that should be coincidental. However, if I did a Hadouken and toss out a fireball on my hand, it's like, wait a second, you can't do a down forward X in real life. That's not that's not possible.
100% agree. Understand that is vulgar, but using a Ouija board.
Yes, using a Ouija board ordinarily would be fine. However, if what your goal is to summon her to you, doing a summoning is always vulgar, as you are reaching across the space between worlds and bringing something to you. Now, if your goal is only to speak with her, that is coincidental. So for clarity, are you trying to talk to her or summon her? Those are very different things.
Speak with her. We don't need her.
We don't need her here.
Yeah, we don't need her here.
Okay.
Then your magic will be coincidental. I was under the impression you wish to summon her, but yes, she will be able to communicate with the Ouija board through the rules. However, for this to work, you'll have to follow the rules of the Ouija board. So you have to hold hands and put the hand over the thing, and it'll move.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I'm adding that because I think it's kind of funny. But so you have to formally use it before the thing.
well, I haven't used one of these since when I was in college. That should be fun.
Okay.
So
your difficulty will be reduced down from 5 down to 2.
Okay. Oh, 2. Wow. Okay.
Down to 3 because it can't go to 2. It can't go to 2. My mistake.
Go to 2.
3
so
is the
I'll go
lowest.
ahead and use willpower since we slept and give me a guaranteed success and difficulty 3. All right. Here we go. Oh, perfect. 3 successes. So be 4.
All right. 3 successes for you. Total 4. For while this is happening, can I have the rest of you roll me a perception and alertness roll? Difficulty 7. This is just to see what you notice. Just happen to notice.
Difficulty 7.
7.
Okay. That's a big old 1.
3 successes.
1, 3.
2 on Do I See It roll.
All right. Elias does not notice anything. Oliver, you also do not notice anything. Eric, you notice just for a second there is a woman that seemed to be watching you, but as you kind of snap back in her direction, she's not there anymore.
Did I catch what she looked like?
She seemed to be dressed in kind of beach wear, though like she kind of had like a white tank top and then maybe it looks to be like shorts. You can't tell if it were like bathing shorts or like just basic athletic shorts, as you kind of only caught her at a glance. But she seemed like kind of like the standard, like kind of sort of athletic-y type person.
And she was just looking right at us.
Yep. But Jaharu, and actually all of you, since you're holding your hands like this, you can feel the little symbol begin to kind of heat up, and it begins to move, though it does not move into any particular words or letters, because you have not asked the question.
All right.
Well, first, I've never used a Ouija board, but how do we know it's her and not just some random? We are in a cemetery. Anyone could have picked up that phone. You know what I mean?
Well, I did attempt to summon specifically to her, so I'm presuming it would be her. Yeah,
That's my first question. Is this Jessica?
I guess. Yeah. OOC. Is there a way I can verify that this is the correct spirit?
Is this you, John Wayne?
Since you have not summoned her, and you, especially since you personally have never actually met this person before, no.
Okay. I guess do we put in the Ouija board? The first question is this Jessica, right? That's her name, Jessica.
Jessica. Yeah.
Your hands are gently guided over to yes.
What is something only Jessica will know?
Um, it. God, I use Ouija boards, right? Well, yes, no questions are great, but when you're asking this question, it can't be a yes, no question. It's got to be specific.
Well, then you can still spell it out. So I mean, yes, no is the most.
But it just
preferred
takes
because it's
longer. You know,
fast.
we
Yeah,
got
it takes
we
longer.
got things to do.
Oh yeah.
Ask her where I first proposed to her.
All right.
Okay. It takes a second, but your hands are moved and it reveals a number of letters and things. And the answer is correct, Eric.
It spells out the pier, by the way.
Oh.
Is that correct?
I think it's her.
All right. So, next question. Well, I get these are your questions. What would you like to ask her?
What's keeping you here?
The little dice spells out prisoner.
What object is your captor using to control you?
It is a second, but it spells out picture.
What is his name?
It spells out Enzo Giovanni.
Three steak faces at once.
Was what happened to you my fault?
Bit longer pause. No.
I will put in, where is the picture?
The word spell back Long Beach.
Is
Wait,
go ahead.
where is Enzo?
See, there is a pause, and it begins to spell out a longer word before stopping abruptly. And it gets out estate and then stops.
Is Enzo a kindred?
There's no response this time.
Do I feel like we lost our connection?
You don't feel it as you did before.
But it's daytime. Chiharu will look up and says, I don't feel her connection anymore. It's as if we lost her?
What do you mean as if we lost her?
It's like losing signal if you go underneath.
Well, get her back on the phone. Man.
Need better Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Chiharu would try again to reach out to her.
Make me the roll. Same conditions as last time.
All right, perfect. All right, what's again for your successes?
You reach out and there's nothing there.
This does not make sense. He is no longer accessible. This is
I immediately get out
daytime.
my phone and Google Enzo Giovanni.
You do find that Enzo Giovanni was a person from about 100 years ago. They seem to have been here as immigrants. You find that some of the information seems to be kind of missing. It just seems to skip ahead until they're in their 40s. And they seem to have opened a funeral home in Los Angeles at once upon a time. You see that funeral home was burned down at some point. All the evidence you can find on that news article shows that it was some sort of freak accident. And then you find that apparently their nephew opens up a very successful business selling officially coffins and things like that. But it becomes very quickly very clear that they make a bit too much money for it to be a limited market. And they seem to have gained ownership of a very large estate near the water in Long Beach.
Upon further research, do I know exactly where this estate is?
Yeah, you can find it. There is a GPS tag for it.
I think this is where we need to go. I tell the others.
What time is it now?
Let's say it's around 4 in the afternoon.
Where he would be. And it's around, this is in June? Or what
Yes,
time
it's
is
June. We'll say it's around June. Mid to late June.
That means oh no, Chiharu wouldn't know this. He's not from California. How many hours do we have left of daylight?
Elias just pulling up his phone to check when the sun goes down.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 8 or 8:30.
You've got 4 to 5 hours, you think. You aren't sure. With your limited knowledge, you don't know if you have exactly sundown or if there is a cushion.
All wish to attempt to push it tonight or rest tonight and approach it at the early morning time.
I'm not waiting any longer.
Well, I guess that settles it then. Get the gasoline.
Because we're going to burn this mother down. Yeah.
Well, it's just a safety precaution.
And more importantly, bring up Google Maps. Is it faster to walk or get an Uber?
You think the times are probably comparable, honestly. Based on traffic alone, you think you might be able to sprint there in the same amount of time. So it's not much of a difference at this moment, honestly. Traffic, You can either deal
hear
with the
me out.
traffic or deal with
What
being tired.
what if Elias was able to get us green lights all the way down?
Well, you're asking a lot of me. Sure, why not? I could certainly try. Don't know what to do about the highway though.
Yes, the highway is the most difficult part. You can't do green lights when there's a car 2 inches in front of you.
There's a shoulder. Good enough.
Would Elias like to attempt to hack into the government again?
Elias is right now
mean,
just kind of
Government.
looking and being like, I don't know if he's weighing his options on the fact that it's mostly highway, and he's just like, can't do much on the highway. The streets are pretty sure he's like on Google Maps, like zooming in to see from where they are to where this estate is, how much time they are spending on the street versus highway.
You think if you were to mess with the streetlights and you were to take let's say an optimal path, you could probably shave off 5 to 10 minutes if everything works the way you want it to.
It would not be a lot. I feel like 10 minutes at most.
Well, what's the actual hacking, no hacking? How long is it going to take us to get there?
If you are going without hacking, it'll take you about 55 minutes. If you hack it and try to get there as quickly as possible, I will say you can go down to 40 minutes.
Yeah, we could just take the hour. It'll still be light out when we get there. That's what I was more concerned with.
Also, the last time I got into their system, I think they were looking for me. So I'm kind of apprehensive to turn on my laptop right now.
You were
I mean, I thought you were good.
Wow.
Jihad
Right.
slowly takes a
I
step
slapped
back.
myself. I slapped myself on the wrist.
Eric, just know this. I can get in and mess with your credit score.
I'm living off the grid now. Go for
There's
it.
so much student loan debt.
Now let's get that Uber. Go get your giant child back. And go.
That is a great idea. Thank you. We're gonna walk back to the hotel, then get an Uber from there.
Okay. Elias, can you run me a D100, please?
Why do you keep making him roll?
This is the words that were not meant to be on Twitch. 23.
23 and me.
Okay. All right. You'll make it back to your hotel. You make it back to your room without any issues.
Just waiting for the men in black to show up and take you away.
I mean, they are the Galaxy Defenders, right? You should be here.
All right. I guess we make our way to Long Beach.
All right. So you all are able to find yourself an Uber. The car ride is very quiet, and it's a very nice Uber. It's like an Uber Deluxe, we'll say. Very, very comfortable.
Good. Yeah, I need a big trunk. Don't worry about what's in the trunk.
Eric likes to keep a lot of junk in the trunk.
Okay. You all are in your vehicle and setting out. Is there anything you all want to do?
Is this estate is it public knowledge? Like, is it a landmark in Long Beach?
It is not a landmark in the sense that the public can go to it, but it is not secret. It is very clearly owned.
Since we're on the move, he is going to open up the laptop to see if he can't find not quite floor plans, but aerial view of it, just to see what they're fully working with. Google Maps.
You were able to find a Google Maps image from above without too much difficulty. Make me an intelligence technology roll, please.
Okay. I don't want to use you. What was the DC? 6? 3 successes. I hate all of these dice tonight. They're doing something.
All of them going to jail.
All of them are doing. I can fit all of them in dice jail.
Straight to
too.
jail. You don't roll a 10, straight to jail.
Straight to 10.
3 successes. So you are able to find a kind of aerial view, and you can see that it is a very large, a 2-story building. It has a very nice, like, topiary garden that seems to be very well taken care of. You can see just from kind of manipulating the camera view a bit that the windows are pointedly, not shadowed, tinted. So you can't really see what's going on inside of them. And as you are looking, you notice for just a second your Bluetooth connection comes online.
He's going to intentionally fry his laptop.
We're in a car. We're in a moving vehicle.
He's just gonna like turn it around, like take a screwdriver and like a magnet out of it and undo the back. Just shove the heavy duty magnet against the motherboard.
Something easy enough. You managed to take it out. You think it worked?
Oh, John's
Is
not gonna
there-
be happy about this.
Is there something you want to tell the rest of the class?
Oh, like I said, I didn't really want to turn it on. The Bluetooth popped on briefly, and that's not normal. I keep it turned off.
I see.
Or my
Well-
tablet is fine.
While that's going on, Chiharu's going to meditate. She's just relaxing in the seat. And by meditating, he's going to just use his life essence to boost up his physical capabilities. Because it's just his attributes, if I recall correctly, is coincidental as long as I don't exceed 5. So he's just going to make himself a little bit more durable, a little bit faster, a little bit stronger.
Sure. I'll say, is it a stark enough difference that you will prompt any weird looks from the driver? Sure. Go for it. Roll it. It'll be what's the word? Coincidental.
And how long is the trip? It's an hour, right?
If you think so, because Elias does not seem to be doing anything with the lights, so it should take about 55 minutes to an hour.
Okay, cool. I can do a few rolls. All right. What was the difficulty?
6.
6. Okay. 2 successes for that roll. I'll keep going. I could make it a ritual, right? And just keep going.
You could, sure.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Another 2 successes.
What's your total at the moment?
4 successes.
Okay.
And
While Chiharu is doing this, Eric, Elias, and Oliver, you all realize you all are making startlingly good time. You've already covered the distance that should have taken you 20 minutes in about 10. And as you all are traveling, is anyone watching the route you are taking?
I have it up on my phone.
I was gonna say, yeah. Every time I'm in an Uber.
Elias and Eric are
I'm
tag
reading a
teaming
book.
this.
And Elias and Eric, you notice that the driver takes you off of the freeway and down a side street. Now, you know that this route should still take you. You see the phone like recalibrates. But you notice this path is longer and more out of the way than the one that you would have taken originally.
Anything?
I pull out my gun, put it to the driver's head, and make sure he can hear me. Click back the knock on the
That
gun.
escalated quickly.
Well, I guess that stops my meditation. 4 successes.
Where are you taking us? I'll ask him.
Oliver looks up. Huh? What?
No response.
Can I see the individual?
You can.
Aura check. Would you take a look at his aura to see what I can see there?
Ooh, that I don't know the answer to.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I don't think. All right, roll it. Okay, roll it for me.
This be just 3. Difficulty 3, right? Because it's what to do. All right.
4.
4?
3 plus 1. 3 plus 1.
Yep, 3 successes.
You attempted to check the key on this person, and there's something there, but the colors are off to you. It's almost like you're seeing color that is being imposed over something else.
This individual in front of us is not normal.
What does that mean? What does that mean exactly?
Like,
Gotta be
like
more specific.
not human normal, or
Colors that represents his essence. Not like us. Not like other individuals. Not even like the individuals.
I need you to be
before.
very clear right now, True, on what that means. Not everybody knows what that means. He's a different color doesn't mean a lot to me.
So it means.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were colorblind.
So to clarify, you said it looks like somebody has overwritten the colors into something strange, right? Was that the?
It almost looked like someone has taken what an aura should look like and then put it over top of this person.
It looks fake.
I'm going to sense life. Can I do that?
Roll it for me.
I get knowledge of nearby life forms, sexual health and stuff. Yep. It's just a straight arete roll, right?
Yep.
I'm going to burn a willpower for it too. What would I don't know what the difficulty would be. I'm going to go with
That's
I have
4.
1 success.
It's
Oh, it's 4. I have 2 successes plus the willpower is 3.
They seem alive to you.
They seem alive. They seem sick. They seem
still
healthy.
hanging.
They seem out of it. And
Normal to you.
stop this fucking car right now.
No response.
How fast are we going?
About 35.
I pull the trigger.
Wow, that escalated
You
quickly.
all hear the gunshot. You hear the glass of the window shatter. But that isn't what draws your gaze. As the bullet that should have shattered this person's head makes impact, their head explodes into a shimmering metallic liquid-like metal. And just for a moment, you
Terminator,
see
oh, God.
this malleable metal spring out, and then it quickly reforms together. Only this time, the head is shiny and almost too perfect. Almost an uncanny valley version of what a person should look like. And here is where we are going to take our break for the evening.
I'm looking for John Connor.
The minute you say it was fake, I was just like, oh crap. It's a construct.
He's
Mhm.
alive,
Everybody.
right?
That's some nonsense.
All right, everyone. We took our break a little bit later than I would have wanted to normally, but I wanted to get this through. So we'll come back to see how this goes for our lovely people here and see what the consequences are of their unfortunate situation. So we'll be back. We'll do 10 minutes this time since we're a little later than normal, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back. And we are going to pick up right where we left off, as this gets glowing, this liquid metal begins to foam back into a head. What do the four of you want to do?
No.
Eric, what did you do?
It's just one beat that's passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom, splat, and then he's like,
Exactly.
he's straight Terminator 2 in it, right? He's starting to turn back into and he doesn't react to this at all. He just keeps driving.
It's a construct.
That was great.
I grab the steering wheel and I fucking yank it to the side, and I want to also control probability that maybe his seatbelt wasn't tightened all the way down. Maybe he forgot that today.
Okay.
And I'm going to yell at everyone else to hang on.
Okay. You got to do a lot. So how are you trying to alter probability? Let's start with that first.
I really just want to make sure it's mostly him that gets hurt in a car crash and not all of his passengers.
Okay, that'll be difficult.
Maybe
So what I will say-
his airbags that doesn't deploy, you know?
Roll me. I will roll. You're not directly affecting it. Roll. So this will be. I'm gonna say this will be a vulgar manipulation of magic.
Of course you would. 'Cause
Well,
Go ahead.
tell me how you're doing the magic. All right, let me see. Do this coincidentally for me. Show me what Eric is going to do in the heat of the moment while also wrestling with the steering wheel.
I hate this part of the game. I don't know.
This is my favorite part of the game. This is my absolute favorite part of the game.
It's really good for people that have a lot of time to sit around and think about it. Not this guy.
Yeah, I got nothing for you.
Okay. All right, so it'll be a vulgar roll. So roll it for me at difficulty 7. I'll break this into 2 rolls. I think the 2 separate things are doing. With willpower? Okay, sure. All right, so you got 3 successes. That's wonderful. Now, so you are manipulating fate and chance to leave you all less hurt and trying to leave this thing more hurt. Now you need to actually wrest control of the steering wheel from this entity. So I need you to roll me a strength plus. I will say you can do strength plus either brawl or athletics. I will say either one, since it's just a pure strength test. I'll allow you to do either one. And show me what you got.
Oh, we couldn't hear you.
Difficulty would be 6.
I get no successes on that.
It tracks.
Well, it got more than 0. So you go to yank the wheel, and it's almost like you are yanking a solid piece of metal, as it doesn't seem to move at all. So while Eric is attempting to wrestle the steering wheel away, Jaharu, Elias, and Oliver, what are you 3 doing?
I think I'm gonna come from the other side with my taser right against the head, but I want to use one of my rotes as it connects.
Oh, okay. What is the route?
Arc.
All right, let me see what that. Well, just read that for what it does.
I am pulling electricity from the power grid to turn it into an arc of electricity to attack the target. And I already know this is probably going to be vulgar as hell, but that's why I'm using a
Yeah,
taser.
tasers. The taser is not pulled not plugged into to anything at the moment. So
No.
the big, I assume you want a
Battery
large
operated.
bolt of electricity.
Yeah,
So what I will
it's
say,
metal.
I will say,
Lee's
you're
trying
welcome
to
to do it.
trying to make it so that it distracts it enough to give Eric another attempt to grab the wheel.
It is
Or
vulgar
Chiharu.
without witnesses. It is going to attempt to soak this.
What am I rolling first?
First roll me your Arte at difficulty 4 plus 3, so 7.
Okay. 1 success.
All right. Now roll. I will say this will be a dexterity and firearms roll,
Okay.
and it won't, since it's not trying to avoid you. The successes will just add to damage.
Okay. I'll spend another point of willpower. At least I can get 1 success. What's my difficulty for this?
Hit 6. Oh, just roll the dice. And since you're hitting it point blank.
No successes. But that 1 willpower spent.
You attempt to do this, I will say, because I believe you're using forces for this effect. Is that correct?
It's a correspondence forces effect.
Yeah. So you automatically get 1 success. So automatically do 2 levels of damage. However, as the electricity hits it, you see the metal almost absorb and dissipate the electricity through the body of the machine.
Oh,
It
these
seems to have
buggers are
no
very
effect.
smart. Can we please get out of this vehicle?
Very well. And Chiharu is going to lean back and use one of his dull capabilities to kick the door off. Essentially using Typhoon Kick. Yeah. The good news is all my dull abilities are supposedly are coincidental. So that's
Doe is special.
So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and roll. This might hurt though, because I have to roll a soak damage since I'm kicking an inanimate object, because I may take half of the damage. So we shall see.
Yeah, I hate it when I kick the wall while I'm sleeping. That's the worst.
All right, so dexterity. Oh, and I use my live side that fortunately I'm boost up. Thank God for that meditation. I did that early. I had no idea we were running into this right now.
I assume you are trying to kick the door off.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. So you're going to need at least 3 levels of damage to break the durability of the car.
Okay.
Of the door.
All right. I'll go ahead and use the willpower to guarantee me success. Knocked it down to 7. You know what? Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to go ahead and use quintessence. Use a quintessence to knock it down to 6. All right. Ooh, nice. Okay. 0. Oh, and it's dexterity. I have feline reflexes, so 2 zeros. Yeah. Okay. So 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 successes. So that's going to be 8. So in strength, which I have at right now is 5 plus 5 plus successes. Holy crap! Good God! 5, 10. That's 18. 18 damage to this door.
It's 18 dice for the damage. So it could be more because you could technically crit on the dice. So roll 18 dice for the damage. Wait. Before I say that, what is the name of the move? Let me make sure because that was special.
Punch the hell out of that door.
It's called Typhoon Kick. It says the damage. It says the damage is strength plus 5 plus the number of successes that I rolled on the dice. So since I got 8 successes, my strength right now is a 5 because I boosted up via the life. And then
Roll 18 dice for damage. It's a door, so it can't really soak it. So as long as you do at least 2 successes worth of. Honestly, what I'll let you do here, I'll let you take half your dice pool as an automatic success, because you really don't need to get 3 successes, and it'd just be a waste of time to roll. So while your companions are attempting to fight this creature, you turn and slam the heel and bottom of your foot into the door, and the metal immediately gives way, and the door is sent flying into the distance. You see it kind of crumble up against a tree, but you are still moving at speed. About 35.
Chiharu will look over and says, exit created, and did you flip out?
Sure. All right. Sure. Why not? Are you using any magic for this to survive to deal with this fall?
It's called Snake Step. Wait, let's see. Yeah, well, so this
powerful.
There is a Snake Step that is for that's an attack. So I'm not sure if I can use Snake Step for it's a dodge, but it's from an attack. It's not really like a ninja flip. So I'm guessing if that doesn't work, it's okay. I have hardened body, so I can cause anything that's lethal. I can switch it to bashing.
Okay. Roll me to land this fall and try to minimize the damage. Roll me a dexterity and athletics roll.
All right, perfect.
And your specialty of cat-like reflexes will definitely work. This is more or less what it's made for. Jumping. Yes. While Chiharu's doing that, Oliver, you are the only person that's not taking an action. What would you like to do?
Nice.
Now, obviously, it's all happening in real time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching Eric. A lot is happening. This is very busy. This car just got very busy all of a sudden. This is the worst Uber ride I've ever been in.
2 stars.
It's like that Uber pool when you get like 5 different random people in the car trying to save like $2.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I think Oliver might reflexively try to reach up or reach forward and put a hand on the shoulder of said driver to try and maybe fuck with its essence using Prime.
All right. Tell me how you do it.
Oliver's going to start praying and reciting some shit in Enochian that he was reading on the book to basically try and, like spirit destruction type of thing, but not, like energy destruction type of thing. That, just like pure raw energy, not so much spirit since he doesn't have any knowledge of that particular domain.
All right.
And he wants to try and, cook it from the inside, because we're not trying to make a big mess,
Sure. Reasonable.
Trying to microwave the.
I can tell you this is going to be vulgar.
I mean, I would be surprised if it wasn't.
Vulgar. All right, it's going to be. I believe we're using either Prime 2 or Prime 3. So it'll be.
Wouldn't it have to? Well, wait. Prime 2 is there's a minimum you need for damage. I'm not sure if does using a high,
Right.
does it being higher tier prime affect the effectiveness of it, or
Prime, if you use it with Prime 2, what you'd be doing would be more like stunning it, whereas Prime 3 would be trying to deal aggravated damage to it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely trying to do damage to it.
Right. It'll
Yeah,
cost you Prime 3 and a point of quintessence. And then
of
make me that roll
course.
at difficulty
Alright.
7.
All right. And then I'm gonna spend a point of willpower to make sure there's at least one success. That they don't need to get super screwed.
He's
all
also
right.
going to spend a point of willpower.
I mean, obviously. Let's see here, and you said difficulty 7. Oh wait, actually, too. I find we can spend up to 3 quintessence to reduce difficulty, or is it 2?
Maximum of 3.
Maximum of 3.
Mhm.
Well, since it seems like an emergency situation, I'm going to spend 3 to reduce the difficulty down to 4.
Right. You can spend 3 plus the one you have to use for the actual attack.
Yeah.
So it'll be a total of 4 quintessence spent here.
Yep, that's fine. He's been saving his pennies.
This is the
right,
time to use it.
That's true. Let's cook.
Mhm.
3 successes. 1 crit, although I don't know if 1 crit matters. I think it's like 2, doesn't it?
Not you guys aren't at the level for your RTA will count for crits, unfortunately. So
okay.
you rolled 3 successes. It rolled 5 successes. So as you attempt to attack its very essence, you see the metal glow with this almost radiant light. But before the creature starts to actually feel the damage, the liquid metal begins to disperse and kind of reconstitute itself. And you see that part that you were damaging is almost pushed down. It manages to completely soak the damage.
Then you get to roll damage. It's just
And it
delete.
canceled the magic because it has the
Wah,
special
wah.
technocracy stuff.
Stupid technocracy.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry. Well, I'm a little bit sorry.
Somebody put an anti-magic field in the car. This is cheater, technocracy eater.
So, the car is still going. We will say for the second round, Chiharu's action is still to jump out of the vehicle. So we'll start with that. Chiharu, what did you roll?
6 successes.
All right. So what I will say is you're going to take every step to minimize the damage. So I will say it will only be 2 dice worth of damage. Is what we'll say.
Okay.
All right. Well, but rolled terrible, so you don't take any damage.
Yay!
So Chiharu is apparently living the plot of every action movie ever. So Elias, Oliver, and Eric, this machine is, you see its metal kind of reforming itself, but it does not seem to react to what you all have done yet. You all see Chiharu ninja flip out of the side of the car after breaking the door as if it were made out of tinfoil. So what would you all like to do?
Gentlemen, I think it may be time to well, Chiharu already left, so wouldn't want to leave our friend, on the side of the road and all that. Oliver says as he jumps out of the car.
Yay!
Tuck and roll.
Yep, everyone about to jump on the Ninja Warrior train.
All
Specialty and
right.
dexterity is feline reflexes.
All right, Oliver roll
Yes.
dexterity in either athletics or acrobatics. I think that is a roll you could technically do.
I didn't even see it on the list, but it would make sense. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's see.
I believe I said the difficulty for this was, did I say it was 6 or 7?
6.
6. Okay.
Tuck and roll. 1 success.
Cool. 1 second.
As he lands
Let's
and he
see.
kind of bangs his head off bounces his head off the pavement, and Russell.
Oh no! Oh no!
Ow,
Give you
oh,
five
oh.
dice.
No.
Oh, do
Could be worse. We're only going 30 miles an hour.
Re-rolled maximum damage for Oliver's jump.
I don't know if like falling down like this has specific damage in the book. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, but what we'll say is it's going to be all lethal damage because jumping out of a car at this kind of at this
Duh.
speed is pretty painful.
Yeah.
And it'll be what is 2 on the damage?
Just tuck and
chart,
roll,
2
man.
successes. So, all right, so you will take 2 levels of lethal damage as you come out of the car, smash into the ground, and basically just tear yourself up on the roll.
Can I
But you are
attempt to
alive.
soak any of it, or my one
Technically, you can't soak lethal. Because
Oh,
you guys
okay,
are
okay.
humans. You
I'd
have to
have
use
to, I'd have
any
to do some
magical
magic
effect.
for that. Yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately.
not gonna be doing any magic while I'm going. Oh,
No. All right, Elias and Eric, you two are still in the vehicle. As far as the machine has not moved to attack you yet.
You first, Eric, or I?
I'm not leaving Phineas in the trunk of this car.
It's an SUV. You should be able to reach back through the back seat.
Oh yeah.
So this is a much more modern car. This was Uber Deluxe.
Yeah, my Mustang has
Very
that.
nice.
You can pull it
Very
back the
nice.
seat and then
Yeah.
grab for the truck. Yeah.
Pull back the seat. Yeah.
Okay.
Is my gun
okay.
easily accessible?
I will say you can go for it. I will 100% allow you to go for it. It'll be a little difficult based on the situation. Make me a dexterity and athletics roll to kind of basically turn around, pull the seat down, and grab it. And I will let you. I will let you do it. I will 100% allow it.
What's the difficulty?
I'll leave it at 6. I will assume
success.
Elias is going to help you for this.
Yeah, Elias would help to get the seat down.
Okay. 1 success, I will say you are able to reach back and grab a hold of the gun, but you won't be able to do anything else this turn. So you will have it, but you will still be in the vehicle.
Sure.
All right, Elias.
Well, as the instant he knows Eric's got it in his hand, he's going to pause like at the door because he's going to, with his lightning calculator merit, try to figure out the best way to minimize his velocity and the damage.
I can see.
I can tell you the merit is 100% going to tell you there's absolutely no way to minimize this situation.
or at least make it to the point where it's
just roll me a pure wits roll. We'll see what you come up with in the heat of the moment.
what's my number I'm looking for?
Get as many successes as you want. We'll put this at difficulty 7.
2 on 2 dice.
Okay. You see that there is a patch of you see there's a patch of like sand coming up, that just the kind of that dirt that'd be on the side of the road, and you figure that's not the best place. But you managed to go for a patch of grass. You feel that there may be enough dew to at least help you with this.
Yeah, that's what he'll aim for.
All right. If you wish to leap out, roll me a dexterity and athletics roll. Difficulty 5.
Spending a point of willpower again because
I recommend it.
this is not. That did not go how I wanted that to. There we go.
You got this.
It's only dexterity athletics.
Or
Yeah,
acrobatics if you have points in it.
I see athletics. That's all I got. This is only 3 dice. All 3 are successes. That's the best
Yay!
that I can do.
You manage to reduce it down to 1 point of lethal as you dive in. You manage to put your shoulder down first, so that way your momentum kind of rolls you onto your back. You still tear up your left shoulder and kind of all the skin on your back, but better than what it could have been.
Yeah, considering he's purposely keeping that side of his face off the ground.
All right, Haru, you see the car is still going. We're restarting for the round. So Char, you see the car is still going. Eric still seems to be inside. You just see Elias Cub tumbling out. What would you like to do?
I mean, Chiharu's fast, but he's not as fast as a car, I would think. And he's good at. What can I do? Can I throw? Yes. Can I throw a ninja star at one of the tires to cause it to like spin, to spin around?
I mean, you
Or get
can
it
do a
stopped?
lot of things.
What is the end goal of throwing this star?
To get the car to stop in case Eric is afraid of getting out the car because it's you know.
Okay.
'Cause,
What
like,
I will
he
say,
was, he was trying to turn that. I saw that, so I'm like, okay.
you have a choice to make because you are now outside. You're now out in the open. There are almost certainly eyes on you as there are now 3 people jumping from cars. A door has slammed into a tree as if some superhero knocked it out. So this is definitely with witnesses. So you can throw this without magic, and you may be fortunate enough to hit a tire. It will not cause an immediate stop in the car, more like a puncturing of the tire that will kind of, well, it may cause the car to spin out. But it'll be more of a gradual stop, or you can add forces to it and cause a more immediate stop.
No.
Some would call that a crash.
Someone call that a crash. Yeah. The thing is, I'm trying to keep my paradox as low as possible right now until we start dealing with vampires. So I will, especially if Eric hasn't came out yet, I'm assuming that Eric is concerned about jumping out at the speed. And if a car just suddenly goes to a crash, I'm thinking that's what Eric's reservation is. So if a puncture is going to slow down a car to where he feels more comfortable flipping out, that's what Chiharu is thinking. Like, this is probably the smarter method. So yeah, he's going to do it conventionally, throw a ninja star at one of the
Sure. I will tell you, this is a 100% going to be a very difficult thing to do.
Oh yeah, I imagine that.
So you could roll me dexterity and athletics. I believe that is the throwing stuff pool.
Okay.
I'm going to put the difficulty for this at 9. You are throwing a very small object at a tire of a thing that is going away from you at 35 miles per hour. And throwing stars are not meant to be thrown at these kind of distances. But
Shahar's got a heck of an arm, though, you know.
you're welcome to give it a chance.
Yeah,
You're welcome to give it a chance.
You know, I'm trying to find the middle ground here. You said difficult.
As long as you can throw that
Difficulty
throwing
9.
star more than 35 miles an hour, that's not that hard.
All right, let's see here.
I've never done this before, but I feel like it's probably pretty difficult.
I mean, professional pitchers throw like 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, so.
Oh, that's true.
But
Oh, okay.
they don't typically have to try to hit a tire of a car.
They
No,
hit a pitcher's glove. They have to hit that really small pitcher. I didn't really think about that until Oliver talks about pitcher. Yeah,
I mean, the pitcher can move around a little bit, yes, but they do generally throw it in the same spot every time.
Yeah, their goal is to hit it right at the strike. I mean, unless they try to trick him with a curveball, so like that. But the goal is normally to hit him in that one little small area.
I mean,
He's a little
give me a
expensive, maybe like
second.
an 8, maybe
Let
like a
me
7 or 8.
see if let me consult the text. Let me see.
Thank you,
Let
Oliver. I
me
didn't think about that,
see.
but that's a good point. I forgot about
Let
pictures.
me see. It may have rules for this.
Coincidentally, a spark got into the gas tank and caused the car to explode.
Oh, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not. That might get Eric a little injured, so we not trying to do that.
It
It's
would
okay.
definitely,
I feel just fine as I get up off the ground, dusting off my probably torn clothing. Like, it's just a flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound.
So you're missing half your face.
Don't you got four dice and dexterity too, right?
I do,
Oliver? Yeah.
but I only roll
remember
one
you got-
success.
I remember you got feline.
Well, depending on how the seeking goes, the XP may go into Arete 4 or it may go into boosting some stats.
Right. So, according to the book, the base difficulty of throwing a shuriken is 7.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to say throwing it at a car in these conditions is going to add a 1 to it. So I'll give you 8 instead of 9.
Perfect. All right. Okay.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. At least it's down by 1. And you know what? Just to be on the safe side, I'll go ahead and use another willpower. Okay. Give me 1 guaranteed success. And nice. Here we go. Okay. Nice. What? Oh, you said 8. Difficulty 8.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. 3. So that'd be 4 successes.
All right. You are able to hit the tire, and at first, there isn't an immediate reaction, but as the tire kind of continues to spin, the road and then the wheel, whatever it's called, kind of pushes the metal of the car the wheel is inside of. It hits they both hit the shuriken deeper into the wheel, so the car is going to start slowing down.
Okay.
So.
And I was just yelling out to Eric to see if we could get him out the car.
All right, Eric, you have your gun. What do you want to do?
We can heal you if you get injured. Both Oliver and I have the life, what you call it. So
He also has a potion if he really needs it, but I would probably save that for emergencies. It's just a minor kerfuffle.
I mean, there's my head and then there's my heart, guys. Which one should I be following right now? You know?
What do you think your character would do? WWED.
Yep.
Wait, that doesn't sound good.
I would take Augustus Phineas, put it to the back of the seat, throw back the hammer, loading in a 50 cal, just fire, exploding everything in front of me.
Hey, that's what Eric would do.
Right. So
this guy would not exist anymore.
That is 16 dice worth of damage. So roll 16 dice worth of damage for me, friend.
Yeah, I don't think you can miss point blank range like that.
It can. However, it can soak this. Technically, it could soak this. I don't think it will, but it's technically good.
The metal face is gonna morph into an old school troll face.
Are you going to
blown up again?
Are you using the fire as well for this?
No, that would be probably bad, but I can use a willpower. Can I do
way past bad at this point? I feel we've gone beyond bad. Sure, why not use willpower too? Why not? Let's just go as far wild this as we can.
So what? How do I roll damage? So I just roll the dice and then
at a difficulty of 6. Yeah, to roll at a difficulty of 6, and then every success you get will be a level of damage you deal.
16 dice.
Because we're just doing straight up damage.
9, and 3 of them are 10s. I don't know if that matters.
You don't have a specialty for this, do you? It would be like shooting gun. It would be a gun related.
I only have 2 dots in firearms. So.
No. All right, well, then let's see.
Oh, 9 damage. Good lord.
Good
There you
golly, Miss Molly.
They're the book worth it. What, all those 10s? Really? You got like 3 10s. How do you get... What is this madness? You
Don't
literally
fuck with
sent
the technocracy, fam.
You
Don't
literally
fuck with
sent
the
T1000
technocracy.
after us?
So,
What is that?
how many? So this thing has. I'll just let you guys know because this is amazing. This thing has 7 in stamina. So you
Children's
fire
tend to be
this
tough.
gun with the intent of obliterating this thing, and instead of the utter destruction that you see a massive hole is blown through the car, the engine, and the creature. The car is no longer under anybody's control. Just to make that clear, that you are probably about to experience deacceleration rapidly. But you see, for the first time, the creature is struggling to put itself back together. You see the metal, portions of the metal are either missing altogether or burned, blackened. And it is rapidly trying to replace those parts. However, there's a new issue for you, Eric, because you realize this car is 100% going to crash into something soon. So you can
I
jump
literally
from this car.
that was my first attempt, is to make it crash, and I couldn't do that.
Well, it is certainly going to crash now. So you are welcome to
Yay.
stay in the car to see how that goes. Or you can leap from the car. Personally, I would suggest leaping, but it is your decision.
Don't want to make you feel pressured.
Yeah, it's just an imminent crash, probably fiery explosion.
Be fine.
Nothing to be worried about.
Eric will be fine.
Yeah, I'll just hop out.
All right, roll me a dexterity in athletics.
Please tell me there was a silencer on the sniper rifle.
It's
I
very
think
loud.
You guys are very well past stealth.
STEALF. Stealth.
I will see Chiharu's attempt to help will reduce the difficulty from a base of 6 down to 5 on this jump.
Yay!
Oh, nope, I only get 3 for this. 1 success.
Okay, cool. So let me just roll 5 dice really fast. Let me just use a roll 20. Okay, good news. You roll 1 success. You only take 1 level of lethal damage as you leap out into kind of the wet, softer grass. You kind of still tear up a shoulder and kind of your back, a very bad road burn, but you manage to get out. And just as you dive free, the car slams into a tree, knocking the tree over and almost splitting the car in 2 with the force that it hits this tree.
Because the car.
Well,
I guess
I
a small
loosened it.
tree.
I loosened it for it, so it's already partially.
Yes, yeah. There wasn't much of a front of the car left, to be honest. It was really more like mangled metal being separated. They don't make a lot of cars designed to survive being shot from the inside with a 50 caliber sniper rifle. I think you need Uber Premium for that feature.
You sure is a
But
50 cal round? I heard those 9mm really blow things open.
But for the moment, you all seem to be safe.
How did they find us?
That may have been me when I made that permit.
Oh, we got to get out of here.
Yes, we have to get out of here.
I kind of like to go check the driver.
I'll have to work on your permitting skills later. Maybe
I'm an archivist by trade.
it's okay. We all have the oopsies.
Wait, you're checking on the car that ran into a tree?
That I jumped out just in time. Yes, I figure I'm still close by.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm
All
not
right.
gonna reiterate ideas.
As you make your way over, you all see from the fire this blackened metal silhouette, like something out of a movie series that I will not name. It begins to put itself back together. You can see portions of it are still kind of misshapen and are trying to come into one solid form. It is very clearly no longer human, as it's more like liquid mercury, but it still seems to be standing. What are you all doing?
Escape, eject, fight. Let's try to find.
What are you gonna do? Run faster than the killer robot?
We're gonna try.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Elias, because your tradition knows the most about the technocracy in a sense, roll me an intelligence check to see if you know anything that would be helpful.
Just a straight in intelligence. I can't
Just
add
pure
technology or.
Sure, you could add technology. I'll be kind. I'll be kind. Am I not merciful?
You are merciful. What am I trying to hit?
6, difficulty 6.
Five.
Okay, well, okay, with 5, you know that although these machines, they're called hit marks, though you aren't sure which version this one is. One, it is still possible to destroy them. You can deal enough damage to take them out, though they are meant to be very resilient. They are designed to take on just about anything that exists. You do know that these liquid metal version is not the newest version of these things. They've been around probably since the early 1990s, maybe 80s.
Discount killer bot at us.
You are aware, however, that they are still bound by consensus in the same way that you all are, and that a battlefield that is beneficial to you would still be beneficial to it, and one that would impede your magic would also impede its ability to function.
Eric,
Just a second.
no, it acts just like us, and we should probably get out of here. Think of our original mission.
You want to go shopping?
We don't have time for shopping right now.
As you were talking, you see it beginning to get itself fully together. You start to see kind of proper facial features begin to merge. Arms are coming back together.
All this talking is giving it lots of time. We should...
If we vote to run, I'll run, but I still don't think we'll outrun it.
I will stay behind and make sure, not stay behind. How about I run for the back? So therefore, if he does catches up, it would be me he has to deal with.
Well, just let me know if are we planning on running then?
Yes, if what Elias says is true, he also has to deal with the same predicament that we do regarding,
People. We need to find people.
Yes.
I figured the road would be full of them, but
there's nobody around right now, right?
At the moment, no. You even notice that the sounds of emergency vehicles have not. You don't hear those.
Mm-hmm. So unless we run into people that can limit what he's capable of doing, we might run into problems. OOC, because of the fact that he's kind of like has the same mage restriction as we do. If we get around people, he can't use vulgar magic with witnesses. Well, he could, but his paradox would be through the roof, just like us. Right now, since there's no one around, he could get away with using some more higher tier spells and not face the same, and not have to deal with as much custom.
It might just be abilities that are built in, right?
Oh yeah, or that too.
And if the built-in abilities can still generate paradox, though. I know technocratic stuff generates a lot of paradox.
Mm-hmm. So that's OOC. That's kind of like why we're saying that. But yeah, I see. Yeah, we're just
Are we running away?
Yeah, if that's what we want to do.
All right, we are going to enter into a chase scene. It is going to be best 2 out of 3. So, and I have the four of you make me a. This is running.
They run like hell roll.
Actually, no, I think they have a chase rules. Do I have chase rules in this book? I think they have chase rules. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, chase. Dexterity, athletics. Difficulty 6.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And what does the
I really
country
regret not
say?
specializing in stuff.
To be fair,
Yeah.
you can't really
Two successes.
specialize in fighting this.
Ooh.
Killer Terminator robot.
Two.
I have 3 dice. I'm working with 3 dice. 2 is good.
Same. I got 2 out of 3. Yep, same.
Uh-oh, we about to be a problem. You said difficulty 6?
Yeah, it's 0 out of 6. No, sorry, 5.
There's 4, 5.
One of these days I'll stop using Roll20 when I'm the only one who's actually using Roll20.
Yeah, right now Ray is using all the good luck, so
I
yeah.
roll 20. It's going very well. So 2 successes for Elias, two for Eric as well.
Yes.
0 for Oliver, and 6. So even trying to move slower, Haru, you are head and shoulders faster than everyone else. In second place
running circles around us.
seems to be this hit mark, who has now managed to put itself together in the form of a kind of what looks to be like a beach goer. Like they have this kind of odd looking floral shirt with the kind of fabric pants, just a very average country club person, except for they are full on machine sprinting at you guys. And it rolled 4 successes, so it is faster than almost all of you. All right, roll. Make me one more roll. Let's see if we could see how we can do here. Let's see how we can do here. We just need a majority of you to be faster than it.
I would like to instead slow it down by using time magic.
Mm.
Okay, how do you do it? Tell me what you do.
Whenever I
what
use
I will
time
say,
magic, I'm gonna go ahead.
you don't have to because it rolled 0 successes. So you may
Am I just burning magic then, and I don't need to?
No, I will say you would realize that it is that your goal of slowing it down isn't necessary, since you can't really make it less slow than 0 successes. So you can choose to do something different.
Perfect. Once again.
I'm not going to choose to do anything different. You said
Okay,
best 2
cool.
out of 3. It's slow this round. Next round it may be faster.
You all right?
Well, if I could take 1 round away from it, that's 2 out of 3 for us. So I'm gonna do that.
Appreciate it. All right. So I assume everybody else is going to keep running. Is that correct? All right. 1 success for Elias. Oliver, how many did you do? 5.
I need to roll a second time, or is it
Yeah, for the second
first
round. For the second round, Jaharu is basically Charu's basically running the distance away and then
Again,
running it back.
with 0
and then
successes.
running away again.
I don't
Basically,
understand.
That's how much faster.
That's good.
All right. Well,
Why did it only
so
roll
far,
4? Right?
how
Oh,
much?
it says die. I thought I had it set to Dex Athletics. Oh, you know why? I know why. Because I'm at hurt, so it's -1.
Yep. If you're injured, that does do it. All right, so 1 success. So I will say that's a victory for your side, since it was at 0 and at least 2 of you rolled 1 success. However, since now on the next round, Eric is going to attempt to use magic on it, but this thing has resistance. So roll me your Arte. It'll be a difficulty. Is it a time 3 effect or a time 2 effect?
Time 3.
I'll say no one has noticed your fight yet, so it'll be vulgar, but not vulgar with witnesses. So it'll be difficulty 7. As you are
And
getting
can I use
closer to the
quintessence
population
to
center.
lower that down by 3?
I would 100% recommend you do so. This would if you're now or never. Really,
That's difficulty 4, right?
Yep.
Good
This,
eye.
this is the boss fight here, where you start using the potions.
And I'm gonna use willpower too.
So here's a question, Reed. Did
That's
I?
4 successes.
Oh, sorry. Good.
So as you begin to distort time, you see it pushing through, and just for a moment, it's almost like it's forcing its way through molasses. But you see the creature slow, not quite to a stop, but now it's more like a very slow walk. So what I will say is it will only get to roll one dice. It'll get to roll one dice to try and catch up to you guys. All right, so all right, now at least
And I
two
give
of
it
you
the I
have
flip it the bird and then I run. Yeah.
Sure. All right, so just roll me a dexterity athletics roll to run. At least two of you has to get at least one success. And Chiharu's going to get 5 successes, so just one of you, really.
2.
All
What's
right.
yes? 1.
6. Difficulty 6. All right, good. All right.
Still 1. Yep.
So you manage to hold this machine in place long enough for you all to make it back towards the kind of a group of onlookers that have just started to kind of form, and you manage to hide into the crowd. And at first there are a few people who are kind of watching you, but as you get deeper and deeper, more people seem to be turning in the direction of the fiery car crash, and you all are able to escape.
Is everyone okay?
I've done better.
I'm just glad they didn't send the latest model.
Kind of insulting, really.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it.
By the way, I'm
Yeah.
holding a giant rifle on my back in a crowded.
I think if as quickly as how they were able to find us, we may want to keep our electronics usage to a minimum, perhaps.
Turn off your Bluetooth.
Elias is just turning off his phone, everything at this point. All he had was his phone on. Like, this man's even taking off his like digital watch, turning it off, and putting it in his bag. Just like, nope.
Gonna give you a big tinfoil backpack.
All right,
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Eric, let me see your gun for a second. You
No.
just for right now. I'm not doing anything harmful to it, but since we're going to be
It's
surrounded
my
by
baby
people
boy.
soon- Oh yes,
My baby boy, Augustus Phineas. Boo Tristan.
You would just want to make sure that it's nice and safe. And Chiharu is going to essentially place the gun into a bushes, almost like to pretend like it's doing a now you see me, now you don't. And as he puts the gun into the bushes, he's going to use his key and place his hand across the gun and use his forces to make it invisible.
Okay. You pushing. So you're definitely surrounded by people. Definitely.
It's a
I will
magic
say
trick.
this will be vulgar with witnesses.
Oh, why put it in the bushes?
People
Why
are
would we see-
able to see you put a gun in the bushes, and then you're pulling your hand out. Are you leaving the gun in the bushes but invisible?
Yes, so I can tell
okay.
Eric to go over and pick it up. No one will see it.
I feel like that's still with witnesses. I feel
How
like
is it with witnesses?
because they can see you put the gun down, and then Eric is gonna go pick the gun up.
But
He'd still be holding an invisible thing.
Distraction.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Vulgar without witnesses. I'll give it to you.
okay.
So
Alright,
it'll be
what's the-
difficulty 6 because making something invisible is forces 2.
Okay.
I'll give it to you.
Yay! Okay, 2 success.
You've been through a tough day. 2 6. All right, it'll be invisible for a short time. I'll give it an hour. I'll give it an hour.
Okay. All right. As it completed, you let Eric know. It says, okay, no one should be able to see it for about an hour, give or take. So you can go ahead and grab it. You should be fine. You just got to find a place to stay now.
All right. So I'll go pick up my gun.
Sure.
I feel like a blind man on the ground, like.
Yeah, you are carrying a invisible object, but sure. Just look. I imagine there are stranger things in Los Angeles to see all walking down the street. But I think you've all been through enough tonight. I think that is where we will end our mage story, as you all have had your first run in with a single technocratic agent. And I think you all have things to learn, things to research for next time. But I hope those of you watching had a wonderful time, because I know I did. And I'm going to let these wonderful people tell you where you can find them and what they are up to. And we'll start with Elias.
Hi, I'm Ari. I play Elias here, and then when the other shows are back, I play over there as well. You can also find me over on Kira's channel, the Cookout TTRPG, where I get up to chaos over there, and I'm also over on the Gremlin Collective. We are working on stuff, so it should be out hopefully soon. But if you want to follow me, Small Shadow Snack, on Twitter, while it is still up and running, it is a possum paradise at this point.
All right, next
Accurate.
up, Charu.
Well, I did say I was a bit concerned about coming to LA. Safe to say, I was right. But this has been an absolute blast. I did not think we would run into the Technocracy so quickly. I'm not sure which was worse, the Technocracy or La Sombra. I think we should see in chat whose vote. We should vote. Who is worse between the two? Who would you rather deal with? Would you rather deal with the La Sombra or would you rather deal with the Technocracy? Let us know. In terms of content, you can be able to find me, as I mentioned, on the Cookout TTRPGs, where you see a wide variety of TTRPG goodness. You also can find me currently every other week on the Initiative Order, where I'm playing in a Power Rangers campaign. That is currently a lot of fun. So you should see us. We will be playing not this Tuesday, not the 20th, but next week for our next episode. But the big thing I've been working on, as you can see in the background, is my new upcoming comic book company called Snowstorm Comics. It's not upcoming; it's already a bit official. But we'll be releasing our first comic in the near future. For hopefully by the August or September timeframe. We got a website coming in place. Everything is coming across so well, and we're so excited to bring you the next generation of comic books. So make sure to join the revolution. And with that, that's me.
All right, next up, Sir Monolith.
Hey, I'm Sir Monolith. You can find me at Sir Monolith on Twitter. And yeah, I'm just playing Oliver, the kind of quiet librarian, trying not to die or, I don't know, do something. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. We can find out a little bit more about what is going on with all of this stuff. And, Los Angeles is about as terrible as I was expecting it to be. So nothing too shocking there. Although, I guess technically it's more interesting than Cleveland so far, right?
Yeah, I would rather go back home with my family with the werewolves. It was a nice time.
Again, fighting off a horde of werewolves was much easier than fighting one Terminator robot. Just saying.
Last but
We were also
certainly not
prepared
least.
for that. Kind of.
Last but certainly not least, Eric.
Hi, y'all. My name's Quinn. You can find me on Twitter's at QSellers or the Mercenary Storyteller. And I am apparently trying to die. And just haven't had any success yet. So, we'll see. We'll see if I can achieve, martyrdom next episode. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good to have goals. All right. Thank you. And join us next week where we will continue this story and see just how deep the consequences of our actions may be.
This is